Donald Trump did not waste any time at all replacing Matt Gaetz as his pick to be Attorney General. It's almost like he knew it was coming. So immediately after Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration, Donald Trump said, well, let's stay in the same ballpark, pull somebody from the state of Florida. And he picked former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, who, of course, Donald Trump has a long history with. But Pam Bondi is now going to be possibly Donald Trump's Attorney General. And to be honest, this pick is equally as bad as Matt Gaetz. Because Matt Gaetz was chosen not because of his superior legal mind. I've spent more decades working in the legal industry than Gaetz did. Gaetz was picked because he would blindly do whatever Donald Trump told him to do. Pam Bondi was picked as the replacement for Gaetz because she, too, will do whatever Donald Trump tells her to do. And we know that because she has made that explicitly clear. As recently as the year 2023, so last year, she did an interview with Sean Hannity where she said, quote, when Republicans take back the White House and we will be back, you know what's going to happen. The Department of Justice, the prosecutors will be prosecuted. The bad ones, she said. The investigators will be investigated because the deep state last term for President Trump, they were hiding in the shadows. But now they have a spotlight on them and they can all be investigated and the House needs to be cleaned out because now we know who most of them are. There's a record of it and we can clean house next term and that's what has to happen. So she already told us last year, before we even knew Trump was going to win the election, before she knew she was going to be Attorney General, she told us, we're going to clean house by prosecuting the prosecutors, investigating the investigators. And that is exactly what Donald Trump wants. Donald Trump doesn't want a DOJ that's going to go after Wall Street bankers. He doesn't want a DOJ that's going to go after the industries that are poisoning our water supplies or maybe crooked individuals across the country. No. He wants a DOJ that's going to go after his political enemies. And Pam Bondi is the person who will do that. Again, she has made that crystal clear. Even all the way back in 2016, 2017. She gave a speech at a Trump rally in 2016 where the crowd was chanting about Hillary Clinton, lock her up. Bondi comes on stage and says, lock her up. I love that. I love that. Let's lock her up. Without any kind of due process, in spite of the fact that she had been investigated, Hillary Clinton had, to hell and back, still Republicans could never find anything to even bring criminal charges against her. But Pam Bondi isn't going to stop. The lack of evidence is no reason to end an investigation, right, folks? No, that is literally why you would end an investigation. A lack of evidence is why you wouldn't even launch an investigation. And you may not be happy about the investigators who investigated Trump or the prosecutors who prosecuted Trump, but just because you're not happy with something doesn't mean that it was illegal. Either these people were in elected positions where they were given the responsibility to do this, they followed their leads, they did their due diligence. You can't go after them for that. Or at least in a normal world, you couldn't go after them for that. But she will. In fact, in many ways, due to the fact that she is not as, publicly known as Matt Gaetz was, Bondi might actually be more dangerous than Matt Gaetz would have been. And that, of course, is a really terrifying thought. But at the same time, Bondi doesn't have the baggage that Matt Gaetz had, which means she will probably sail to a very easy confirmation.